The strongest man that ever lived, Samson, a Hebrew Israelite from the Dan tribe. He was a Nazarite, one who was set apart to accomplish the Most High's will or purpose. He's set apart to fulfill a mission. Okay, let's go to, it's in Numbers 6 where it gives details about a Nazarite. Okay, so when it talks about when a man or woman is separate as being a Nazarite, they can't drink anything from the vine or anything from the grape vine, like wine or grape related products, raisins. It talks about neither vinegar, and it also talks about how they are to grow locks, and they cannot have a razor cut through their locks from the time they're alive and accomplishing that mission, right? To the time they are gone from this earth, right? So their locks is a symbol of showing that they were Nazarites. So this is another proof to show that the people of Israel were melanated people. A lot of them had locks. So this is an image here of Samson that I drew, and he was known to like destroy huge number of armies, right? Right here is showing that he's holding a jawbone of a donkey. Okay, so I wrote some scriptures on here. Judges 15:16. He slew 1,000 Philistines. At his time, the Philistines were the oppressors against the Israelites at the time, oppressing the people of Israel. And the Most High, in the book of Judges, he always rose a leader to help deliver his people. And this time, it was Samson that he rose to be a leader to deliver his people, and he gave him a supernatural strength. All right? And he was the strongest man that ever lived. And his strength was in his 7 locks of his hair. However, one thing, a weakness that he had was, of course, women. And the Most High created women, and he's all the way from the beginning. It's not good for a man to be alone, right? That's why from Adam he made Eve. However, he especially desired women that were outside of his culture, outside of his tribe, outside of his people, Israelites, women of other nations. And at that time, women of other nations, especially the Philistines, they were worshiping other idols, other gods. However, he looked at mostly the physique, the body, and left it at that, right? So some people, a lot of us know the story. There was a woman named Delilah, a Philistine woman, who that captivated his eye, and he fell in love with. Most likely, she was very beautiful. However, she worshipped their gods of Dagon, half man, half fish. That's what the Philistine worship, and this all traced back to Nimrod. He was made into a god, Baal, Lord of gods. So all the different cultures have different forms of a worship of Nimrod or his son Tammuz and his wife Ashtaroth. And so she also, she was big on that, the idols, so she, they knew that he loved her, and they called her to find a weakness for him. What's the weakness to his strength, to trying to get him so that they could not only mainly get to the people of Israel and also mock the Most High, right? So he, Samson was very smart. At the same time, he allowed his flesh to get the best of him. He would give him different puzzles and different riddles to say if they do this and they do that, this would make me weak. They tie my hands and put water in the robe. That would make me weak, things like that. And she would say that to the Philistines and cause them to come, and then he would overpower them. Right. So he did many riddles until she kept persistent and persistent and persistent. And that's how the devil works too. He keeps persistent to get one to a vulnerable place. So eventually he just got tired and gave in and shared his weakness. He said, my locks has never been shaven before, and this 7 locks that I have, I'm paraphrasing, if when it's shaved, the strength will be gone from me, right? And she knew that once he told her that he's actually eventually giving him, I'm giving her the truth. So she caused him to go to do sleep, probably, arouse him and cause him to be weakened, seducted him, right? Using her feminine ways. So he fell asleep, sent some guards, some men to go some princes to go cut his locks. And when they did that, he got, the Philistines came, the soldiers came, and she got him up. He jumped up and wanted to fight as normal to overpower them, but his strength was gone from him. The spirit of the Most High was within that locks. The Holy Spirit is that spirit of power, right? And we could have that Holy Spirit now through Jesus Christ, but back then, he appeared through the locks of Samson. So his spirit was gone from him, and they took him. First thing they did was blinded his eyes, and then took him to prison, tied him up, and have him being a grinder in the mills, and then they used him to like a Colosseum and start having entertainment. It's kind of like how they did back then, the Romans and the Greeks in the Colosseums with their slaves, right? So he prayed that the Most High would open his eye one more time and avenge his enemies. To strengthen, give him strength, to allow his hair. At that time his hair was growing back, and they didn't recognize it. But the Most High was most likely causing their minds to be blind. So his hair was growing back, and then he was still blind, and he prayed that the Most High would give him strength to avenge his enemy. So when they took him to the Colosseum and making fun of him and the Most High and the people of Israel, he just prayed that he would give him strength one more time to overcome his enemies. And the Most High answered his prayer. He pressed he asked the guards to show him where the wall is, because he was blind. Put his hands, and pushed the wall. And there was thousands of people that died because the Colosseum fell on them. So it said that a lot more people were dead that day than the amount of people that he slew when he was alive, where he was, his eye was open, when he was, so he died with them, at that time. So, it was a sad story, but he's still remembered in Hebrews, in the book of Hebrews, as one of the patriarchs. But he was the strongest man that ever lived, and thank y'all for listening. Shalom. Subscribe to the channel, like and share and comment. All right. Bless y'all. Shalom.